who's not saved. Work on him for years. Just, he's not saved. Lives in California. We were out in California a while back, and we talked. I said to him, tongue in cheek, "So, are we going to go to church tomorrow morning?" Complete atheist, agnostic. And he said, "Yeah, I'll go to church." And I thought he was kidding. And I said, "Really? That'd be great. I'll find a great church." He goes, No. We'll go to that Crystal Cathedral with Robert Schuller." Why not? It's not offensive to him. Pagans can go there. In fact, one of the things that Robert Schuller says, I think I can find the quote for you, that he is very proud of the fact of how many Muslims listen to his broadcast every week. He's got thousands of pastors, thousands of Jewish or hundreds of Jewish rabbis, and millions of Muslims that listen every single week. Now, if a Muslim can listen to your preaching, pastor, you aren't doing something right. I don't know what it is exactly, but if a Muslim finds your Christian message palatable, something's wrong. Okay, you might want to just take a look and see what you're talking about. To see. Cale, hello. Thank you for calling KKMS.
Hello there.
Hi.
Say, on a quick side note, as I was sitting on hold, I just remembered on my honeymoon 5 years ago in Hawaii, I met Robert Schuller in the men's bathroom.
Stop it!
Strange. Yeah, I did. It just came to mind as I was sitting here. Hey, I wanted to ask, which is a weird place to meet someone, but I wanted to ask, with these false teachers you've been talking about,
yes, sir.
Do they know that they're false teachers? Are they out there to deceive people, or are they just simply ignorant and so caught up in poor theology and their own teaching that they have no clue?
We can't judge the motives. We can't judge the motive. That's left to God. We don't know. But we can recognize, we can identify their message, and we can judge them as being false or true. Their motive, that's left up to God. It's not left up to us. We can see what their motivation might be. We can even identify if they're filled with pride, but we can't tell if their motivation is to lead people astray or if they are themselves duped.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's okay. There's still plenty to examine. There's plenty to look at and identify. We just have to stay out of the realm of judging motives.
Got it.
See you, Cale.
All right, thanks.
Bye. That one's left to God's realm. All right, when we come back, we got two things that we're going to do here. We're going to get to some Robert Schuller quotes. They're going to make your head spin. Literally make your head spin. And as we start to get into the territory of self-esteem and self-love that Robert Schuller preaches, then we're going to get a phone call from one William Gurnall, 17th century Puritan, who's going to talk to us about his view on self-love.
Thought you were going to say Schuller's attorneys.
They might call, but I don't think so. Hey, Albert Mohler, I'm so grateful that somebody came out and said it. If we can't identify Robert Schuller as a false teacher, I mean, come on. Can we ever say somebody is not inside of the body? Please. Paul identified false teachers, who were, in fact, in the book of Ephesians, I gotta look. Hymenaeus. I think that's it. Hold on. Hymenaeus. It's kind of a weird name. He calls people by name. You don't have to all the time, but there's a biblical precedent. We can call people by name. I'll just trust me on this. It's Hymenaeus and Alexander. Let's go with that. That's all right. I'll find it later. We'll come back with Robert Schuller and William Gurnall. Those two go together like a couple of peas in a... Well, no, they don't at all, actually. Talk the Walk on False Teacher Tuesday, AM 980, KKMS, more Spirited Talk Radio.
I will hold on to the hand of my Savior, and I will hold on.
All right, let's dive into Robert Schuller, shall we? Oh, that Naomi Judd clip is just going to make you crazy. Is it just a beauty, Joey? It's False Teacher Tuesday. Let's jump into Robert Schuller. The reason we're doing this is so we can sharpen our discernment skills, so that when we hear somebody from an evangelical church kind of mix it in a little toilet water, we can go, hey, that's not in the Bible. Listen to what Robert Schuller says on this here False Teacher Tuesday on Talk the Walk, AM 980, KKMS. He's found a little problem with the Bible. There's a basic defect in modern Christianity. I shouldn't say the Bible, in modern-day Christianity. He's got a problem with modern-day Christianity. And here's what he says specifically from page 31 of his book on self-esteem. That should tell us everything we need to know. What is the basic flaw, writes Schuller? I believe it is the failure to proclaim the gospel in a way that can satisfy every person's deepest need. One's spiritual hunger for glory. Hello! Rather than glorify God's highest creation, the human being, Christian liturgies, hymns, prayers, talk shows on AM 980 KKMS from 3 till 6 o'clock, John MacArthur, James MacDonald, scriptural interpretations have often insensitively and destructively offended the dignity of the person. So we don't want to make anybody feel bad, is Robert Schuller's mantra. Here's this is from a Los Angeles Times article. Did an extensive interview with Robert Schuller. This is what the author said. In short, Robert Schuller believes that God placed him on this earth to preach possibility thinking. And to Schuller, this message is vitally important. This is what Schuller wrote. Quote, I believe in positive thinking. It is almost as important as the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Quick! Name all the positive thinking verses. I guess we're done. Funny, Jesus didn't seem to put positive thinking on the same level as the crucifixion. Call me wacky. Maybe I haven't read the Bible right. Some of the people who have been in the pulpit of Hour of Power, boy, the title, Hour of Power, it's all about me. Me. New Agers, cultists, occultists. Gerald Jampolsky. You know who Gerald Jampolsky is? He's got a book, A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles. Would you like to know what the Course of Miracles is all about? It was taught at the Crystal Cathedral. This is just breathtaking. Its purpose was to correct the errors in the Bible. That's the purpose of the book. The course teaches that forgiveness is simply recognizing that sin does not exist, and therefore there is nothing to forgive. That is so anti-Bible. This is so flagrant. This is like everybody would be throwing the flags on this one. This wouldn't be like when you got a bunch of bad refs at the junior high basketball game. Every Christian should be throwing their flags at Robert Schuller. What? You're teaching a course that says there's no sin, there's nothing to forgive? Then why did Jesus come? What's the point of that? Won't surprise you, Robert Schuller's hero is Norman Vincent Peale. When Peale died, there was a broadcast, January 16th, 1994. Schuller told how Peale had been his inspiration and mentor, and the man who had the greatest influence upon his theology and ministry. Oh, that's great. The problem is, Norman Vincent Peale was a 33rd degree Mason. He also rejected the Christian doctrines of justification by faith alone, sin, the physical resurrection of Jesus Christ. Besides that, you gotta have a role model, and why not have it be Norman Vincent Peale? Let's go to Larry King Live from January 28th, 1994. Robert Schuller was on Larry King's show, promoting his book, Achieve Your True Potential Through Power Thinking, or Power Thoughts. 40 years ago in 1953, said Schuller, the seminal book was published, The Power of Positive Thinking. 20 years later, a book was published, Move Ahead with Possibility Thinking, and now 20 years later, there's a book, Achieve Your True Potential Through Power Thinking, or Power Thoughts. So it's from positive thinking to possibility thinking to power thinking, and each is a level. Positive thinking says, hey, I'm somebody, I can do it. Possibility thinking picks up on it and says, okay, how is it possible and how can we make it possible? And power thinking says, okay, I can, it's possible. Okay, let's you and me do it, let's just make it happen. Robert Schuller said, I sum it up in this sentence. Faith plus focus plus follow-through equals achievement. And many people fail because they just don't have faith in themselves. And others have the faith in themselves, but they don't focus. All right, enough. I can't take it anymore. Let us get in William Gurnall. Paging William Gurnall. Are you there, William? William Gurnall.
Shouldn't there be some noise?
Yeah, but I got my computer all...
Oh,
for Naomi Judd, and I can't make the... Wait a second. Here you go.
You know, I've never heard a harp that sounded like Jerry Lewis before.
That was actually... All righty. William Gurnall, I'd like to have you give your take on what Robert Schuller is talking about, because in one of your fabulous works, one of the great writings that you wrote in the 17th century, A Christian in Complete Armor, you talk about pride, which basically is what Robert Schuller is talking about. Sir, William Gurnall, Puritan, what is your take on pride?
Pride was the sin that turned Satan, a blessed angel, into a cursed devil. Satan knows better than anyone the damning power of pride. Is it any wonder, then, that he so often uses it to poison the saints?